शब्दों का सफर। तो शब्दों के सफर में इस बार हम आपके सामने लेकर आए हैं अपनी गेस्ट को, जिनका नाम है मधुरिमा भट्ट। मधुरिमा भट्ट जो है एक पावरफुल ऑथर है, जो कि अपनी किताब लिख चुकी है द पावर ऑफ डोपामिन माइंड। तो डोपामिन के बारे में ये बताती है कि डोपामिन जैसे एक केमिकल है जो कि हम लोगों को मोटिवेट भी करता है, साथ में हम लोगों के प्लेजर को भी इफेक्ट करता है, हमारे ब्रेन को कैसे ट्यून इन करता है और कैसे हम उसका फुल पोटेंशियल का यूज़ करके जो है डोपामिन को यूज़ कर सकते हैं इफेक्टिवली। ये अपनी लाइफ की इनसाइट से कुछ स्ट्रैटेजीज हमारे साथ में शेयर करती हैं, जिनके से हमें पता चलेगा कि हम डोपामिन को इफेक्टिवली कैसे यूज़ कर सकते हैं और अपनी लाइफ में बैलेंस मेंटेन कर सकते हैं। इन्हें अलग अलग प्रोसेस के बताती हैं, जैसे कि फूड की ईटिंग, अच्छी लाइफस्टाइल, हेल्थ हैबिट्स, या फिर हमारे जो अलग अलग चीज़ें जो हम कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं, जो हमारे डोपामिन को इफेक्ट करती हैं। तो आइए बात करते हैं मधुरिमा भट्ट से। मधुरिमा, वेलकम टू शब्दों का सफर and thank you for joining me here for the podcast. And
My pleasure.
yeah, it's really an honor to host you. Madhumara, let's start with your book. What was the why behind your book? As a lot of people we are talking about dopamine today, but your book, The Power of Dopamine by Mind, feels really different. So, what was the one moment or one insight that you made it say that I need to write this book, or I need to make the people more aware about what is dopamine and how it works, and what is the core problem that you are trying to solve through your book?
So the idea behind the book came when I was mindlessly scrolling like many others through my phone,
Yeah.
and it led to me uh, in a cycle of depression and loneliness. And at that time, actually, I had some issues also, so I referred myself to a therapist, and the therapist told me that I have some attention deficit disorder. So
Yeah.
that led me to search more and more on that. So from that I came to know that the social media that we just love to see whenever we open our phone, it's actually triggering something inside our brain, and that is dopamine. So
Yeah.
whenever you scroll through uh, social media, you open an app, it triggers your dopamine levels, and there's a rush of dopamine. That is why you keep opening it, because you are seeking that reward again and again, that this is giving me some
Yeah.
validation of sort.
Yeah. So it was basically the social media scrolling. We all are facing currently we all scroll through the social media and all of these things, and we are constantly being engaged with these things. So any tip or any advice that you need to share, that how can we go through, how can we limit ourselves, or maybe use it in a productive way?
Yeah, the basically dopamine itself is not something which is wrong in itself.
Yeah.
Actually, we are taking an overdose of dopamine,
Yeah.
that is hampering our motivation. Dopamine in itself, it's a neurotransmitter
Yeah.
which helps us to keep motivation to achieve our goals.
Yeah.
So we have to keep a balance of dopamine
Yeah.
rather than keeping taking its constant dose. We need to keep a balance of it through maintaining our nutrition, our exercise, meditation, anything which leads to self-care.
Yeah. So you are basically talking about that we should chase the real dopamine, that we should do the exercise or read books or involved in meditation like practices, instead of being scrolling endlessly through it. And
Yeah.
chasing the real dopamine instead of chasing the dopamine that we are getting through our phones and scrolling mindlessly and all that things.
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
guess you have read my book. That is why
Yes.
you are, the last line is like that,
Yeah.
yeah, of the book.
Yes. So your book also calls dopamine a double-edged sword. How can this be same chemical fuel both for our greatest ambitions and for the healthy habits? For example, how does it tie basically that how can we tie it our habits? So how can we tie it into the habit formation and something as common as mindlessly social media scrolling and all?
Yeah, so adequate amount of dopamine is needed in our daily life
Yeah.
so that we function in a proper manner. We have motivation when we wake up in the morning. But the problem is that because of these reels, these shorts, that we are being exposed to a very higher level of dopamine. Like in the book, I have talked in one chapter about the origin of species.
Yeah.
So in that chapter, I have told that that dopamine, earlier it was related to our survival,
Yeah.
but now it has changed to our fulfillment, because
Yeah.
now we are no longer dependent on it for our survival needs. Our
Yeah.
survival needs are already fulfilled. Even
Yeah.
if we see the Maslow's need of hierarchy theorem, in that also I've tried to explain to the readers that the basic, we have certain basic needs, then we
Yeah.
have the needs up above the level of the hierarchy, like the self-esteem
Yeah.
needs. Then we also have the last stage of
Yeah.
self-actualization. So
Yes.
now we are fulfilling those higher needs in the hierarchy. So and also the stimulants that are around our environment, they are in a very uh, uh, higher amount. So when we are getting when we are getting vulnerable towards those technology, that we are facing it in a day to day, then it is hampering us.
Yeah, actually, it was starting
So
it off with the needs that we are basically, it's the survival thing. And now it's for the
yeah, yeah,
excitement and all that we are currently achieving. And it's very much true that we are endlessly scrolling and involved in just the social media and the things like that.
yeah. In fact, earlier our needs were limited, but now the needs have become so, even we are not able to
Yeah,
anticipate what will be our next need for it,
yeah,
but we are still seeking those apps and getting that thrill
yeah,
from those apps. Those apps and have been designed in such a way
yeah,
that they keep a track on our behavior.
yeah,
So they propel us, they instigate us to keep make matlab, to keep getting used to it.
yeah,
So that's the reason that
yes.
we need to maintain a proper balance of dopamine.
Yeah. And your book also offers practical strategies like mindful nutrition, exercise, sleep, and self care practices that you have mentioned that they recalibrate our dopamine spike. So, for the person, if there any person that is struggling to get off from the couch or to start a new business that he has been thinking from long, and therefore, what is the one actionable habit that we can take away from your book that he or she can implement so that they can start in their dopamine journey in a better productive way?
I think one of the best practices is dopamine fasting.
Okay.
Because when you are fasting for a short period, like you have adhered that you will give only this much time to this thing, to an app or any social media, or maybe you are even to candies, because I have also written that even your eating disorders are related to dopamine, and addictions related to that. So if you do it in a limited amount, then it won't harm you.
Yeah.
So I think dopamine detox, dopamine fasting has become very important these days.
Yeah. So what is exactly if dopamine fasting? If it basically that we need to use our phone for a limited amount of time, or if it any apps that we need to use to obstruct it, or if it anything that we need to read the books and all something for a duration or exercise for half an hour or something like that?
See, it is actually just like fasting. Like you abstain yourself from doing certain activities that you are doing repeatedly. You abstain for a certain duration, and for that also, while abstaining, you can use some distraction
Yeah.
to abstain yourself from doing such. Suppose if I'm scrolling my phone a lot these days, so instead of that, I start walking, I start doing meditation. Instead of that, I distract myself with something useful, more productive. So this is dopamine fasting.
So basically,
And if
dopamine fasting,
on
yeah.
a regular basis, if you do it on a day-to-day basis, it will help you cultivate a healthy relationship with your phone,
Yeah.
with your any of the activities towards which you are addicted.
So basically, dopamine fasting is something like that you need to observe your behavior, and then by observing it, letting it at what is harmful for you, or what is the harmful form of dopamine, like you have already mentioned that it's useful as well and it's harmful as well. So using it in a better productive way कि आपने लिस्ट आउट किया वो सारी चीज़ें जो कि आपको लगता है कि ये चीज़ें हैं जो मुझे हार्मफुल लग रही हैं. For example, I'm scrolling my phone for endlessly 2 hours or something like that. So I can limit it by half an hour or 1 hour by consciously engaging in that and using for
Yeah.
1 hour in a productive way.
Yes, similarly, like your binge eating, your binge watching habits, they also need to be kept in check. It's not just that you get dopamine only from those apps and social media. So even this binge eating, that binge watching, that I'll complete this series in
Yeah.
by today and all. You need to keep a check on that as well.
Yeah, that is very good. And from a business perspective, now if we see how an entrepreneur or leader that can leverage from the principles that you have mentioned in your book to basically more engage team for products. मतलब अभी हमने जितनी भी बात की है हमने की थी कि जो नॉर्मल लोग होते हैं वो कैसे आपकी बुक से हेल्पफुल हो सकती है. सिमिलरली अगर कोई एंटरप्रेन्योर है कोई लीडर है वो कैसे आपकी बुक को यूज़ कर सकते हैं ताकि वो एक नए कुछ प्रिंसिपल्स आपकी बुक के वो अप्लाई कर सके अपनी डेली लाइफ में ताकि वो उनके बिजनेस में या उनकी चीज़ों में जो एक जनरली एक वैल्यू एडिशन कर पाए. एंड अगर वो अपनी कंपनी को भी एक पर्पसफुल प्रॉफिटेबल बनाना चाहते हैं क्योंकि डोपामिन तो हर कोई चीज कर ही रहा है अपनी लाइफ में. सो हाउ दे कैन यूज इट.
सो इसमें ये है कि जैसे मैंने एक चैप्टर लिखा था कि इट्स अबाउट द यूटिलिटेरियन प्रिंसिपल ऑफ dopamine. So in that I've explained that most people are chasing pleasure these days
या
and they are trying to avoid the pain. So this principle is especially applicable to those who are in entrepreneurship, that you should not just seek wealth and go for it and without checking on your morality, because you know the even not just the consequences of your actions are important, but your actions itself, they are very important.
या
So not just the ends that your company is profitable is important, but even the means to achieve it is very important. Because if you go to an extreme level, you can harness maybe a lot of profit,
या
but it will also cause pain to a lot of people. It might cause at a community level, so you need to keep a balance of that. So
या
that
डेफिनेटली.
also my book talks about.
Yeah, it's basically the purpose. They should also be purpose driven and the problem solving that is also helpful. Using it in a
Yeah.
better way. It's not just the agenda of creating the wealth and food. Is that all that you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. And we have already listened the advice. मतलब हम लोग हमेशा सुनते हैं that you just need to be disciplined. But that's not what your book is about. You are giving people a system. You are telling them to move through a system for the person जो स्ट्रगल कर रहा है किसी भी चीज़ से तो आप उसे एक सिस्टम के थ्रू जाने को बोलते हैं कि आपको एक सिस्टम फॉलो करना चाहिए. सो उसके बारे में अगर कोई नई हैबिट फॉर्मेशन करनी है किसी ने एंड समथिंग लाइक दैट सो व्हाट एडवाइस डू यू गिव टू देम.
See, habits, they should be a custom tailor made to the personality of the person. I myself, I'm not a very discipline oriented person. I'm not an organized person.
Yeah.
So I have a different way of expressing myself. Like I have a writing page and I write poetry. I sometimes express myself through poetry of uplifting the
Yeah.
soul and all. So everyone has their unique way of. For some, it might be playing football. For
Yeah.
some, it might be doing meditation. Some might not like gym. They might like
Yeah.
yoga. They might like dance workout. So for everyone, there's a specific. There's not a specific. Sorry, uh, there should be a tailor-made thing for them, and they don't need to find a uniform way to achieving something. You know, when I was preparing for civil services, I
Yeah,
used to struggle a lot, because in civil services they used to teach people, some of the toppers would
yeah,
say that they used to wake up early in the morning.
yeah,
I have never been an early wake up, so I struggle with that maybe because I'm starting late, uh, I'm not able to make a progress. But
yeah,
then I myself devised that I don't need what others are doing. I
yeah,
maybe I need prayers worked for me, so I used to do started doing more of prayers, so
yeah,
they become a source of, you know, affirmation for me, that I'm talking, connecting to the Almighty. So for
yeah,
everyone, that thing is very unique to them.
yeah,
So I would like you to first know yourself and then maybe devise a plan. But yeah, there is general things that you should follow a nutrition, you should follow an exercise. Then exercise can be anything that you like. It can be
yeah.
yoga, it can be gym, it can be a dance workout, so that can be devised. Or maybe you like journaling, maybe you like reading. So for everybody the thing is different.
Yeah, so you can choose your own thing that you need to pursue and maintain your dopamine according to that. If you like gym, you can do gym. In case you like yoga
Yeah.
and something, reading books, journaling, and all. You mentioned about affirmation. So, do you also believe in writing affirmation or manifesting the things as it's very much in current today topics? That manifestation, people talk about visualizations, journaling. So, do you also believe in that?
Yeah, I do believe in that. But for me particularly, it has been like connecting to God and
Yeah,
talking to Him about my problems that has worked for me.
yeah,
That has really helped me to remove some of my obstacles. And sometimes I believe that it was some miracle happening with the hand, but I know somewhere it's the hand of
yeah,
God,
God, yeah.
because I'm connecting to Him on a day to day basis, and I had myself become very negative in one point
Yeah,
in my life,
yeah,
but prayers really helped me to move past that situation in life. So
yeah,
I would really suggest people to do positive affirmations, prayers, and connect with the Almighty.
yeah. So it's positivity that basically take you apart from anything or take you out from a very bad situation to a good one. And it's really
Yeah.
been true, yeah. And I've also read that you believe in the need for balance, like what you told about your civil services journey. So could you take us back to that time, that what was that defining moment or the moment that you were feeling of imbalance that made you look inward? So ultimately leading down to your part to understand the dopamine that you have read about it, and instead you have basically go into the deeper version of what dopamine is and writing a book on that journey. So was this book in a way a personal diary or your own spiritual path that you were following?
I think it's more of a more spiritual part. Actually, I had written my service attempts during the COVID period when
Yeah,
everything was shut down. So I had really experienced the worst of worst isolation at that time. And during that period, I reduced weight by 11 kgs. I I tried the things I used to do, but the thing that helped me the most was prayers that I'm telling you. So in my fourth attempt, when I started doing prayers, I started stop talking about my failures more, because up till then I used to repeatedly curse myself if I'm failing, if I'm not able to do one question correctly. I would
yeah,
curse myself, I become very negative. So that through prayers I started shifting my focus towards the positive aspects of things, that how God is with me, nobody is creating trouble, it was
yeah,
coming to remove all my obstacles. So
yeah,
through that way i uh, i I passed my prelims in my fourth attempt, and I wrote mains. And mains is a very gruesome process of
Yeah.
UPSC,
Yeah.
in which you have 6 days and you have 3 hours each of,
Yeah.
like you are writing 6 hours a day and 3 days each in a week, so 6 papers you have. So so that ways it really helped me, because I don't think I would be even right now be present without the uh, without the texts of Almighty and God, and
Yeah.
that is how.
Yeah, for you have given mains once and the rest you have given prelims many times.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's definitely
spiritually, it really it's this book has been more of a spiritual journey as
spiritual
such. Yeah.
journey. Yeah. And one thing, since you have also been a UPSC aspirant and you have given this much, so मतलब जितना मैंने एनालाइज किया है अपने से जर्नी से, उतना मैंने देखा है कि बहुत सारे ऐसे एस्पिरेंट्स हैं जो प्रिपेयर करते हैं एंड इट्स बेसिकली मेनी ऑफ द नेगेटिव थिंग्स दैट कम indulge with that. For example, there is depression that we talk about, and something that children have been preparing for since after school or college. They have been preparing, and there have been years that they have been preparing for that. Sometimes they take around 8 to 10 years, and nothing happened as such that they got selected because, yeah, we all know the competition is high. At the same time, there has been a very much things like there have been reservations and all those things. So anything that you want to tell through your journey or your experience that could help them guide through that negative part that we are talking about, because there's very much depressive or negative part of UPSC also. It's not all good, better things that we can talk about. There's also the depression in the rooms that they have been doing papers, they have been reading papers, books, NCRTs and all. And at the point that the mind thinks that it's nothing more that they can do or achieve. At the same time, they have been preparing it so hard, working on themselves and everything that they are doing. So anything that you need to tell about that, that you understand to what how dopamine acts in that case.
Okay. So when we are young, we are naturally very positive about things, and when we try to write this exam and we try to think that we will work for the system, we'll make it better, we'll change it, but while writing the paper we understand that even the commission, that like the UPSC commission itself uh, does not is very it's very opaque system.
Yeah,
Like we can't break through it. We'll have complaints that the exam was not made correctly, but we can't fight through it.
yeah,
Similarly, in the mains also, when we are writing our exams, we don't know what kind of invigilator we'll have. Some invigilators I have seen that they collect the paper 5 minutes early
yeah,
and they are arguing with the students. So students at every stage of UPSC they go through a lot of challenge.
yeah,
So what I would like to say is that it is of no use to to uh, to invest your energy on other people. So if there is someone who is arguing with you, it's better that you don't you take a step back and don't argue with that person further. And uh, and this system is really very opaque, and I would like to say what I have written in the book in a sort of way in one chapter, that will we invest in capital markets, we try to increase our portfolio. We
yeah,
don't keep all our eggs on one
yeah,
basket. So I'll say that you prepare for UPSC, but
yeah,
also uh, keep exploring other mediums also.
yeah,
Just because we have a colonial kind of a mindset that we need to work with the public administration, we need not lose our own identity while doing uh, working for the public services.
so there
Like
should be a
I
plan B
remember.
that you're talking about. That they should go for a plan B also, not only indulging in one thing that is UPSC that we need to crack it all.
yeah, don't lose your identity, because when I was preparing for UPSC, I had stopped reading much of the books and all, which was my passion, which was my way of expressing myself.
Yeah.
So, and also in UPSC preparation, some of the toppers usually say that shun social media,
Yeah.
but we have seen such public servants also who were doing social media also, who were doing, and you know that this is the age of like chat GPT. And
Yeah.
once I returned back to social media, I realized that I was missing so many things. I
Yeah.
was missing. Chat GPT could help me put my answers, and
A better
even
way of thinking. Yeah.
Twitter has certain polls which tells you that what kind of topics are more relevant.
Yeah.
So it's
Definitely.
not that you need to shun everything.
Yeah.
So, like your exam wants you to have a balance of marks in all the papers of UPSC. Even if one of your exam has gone wrong, your marks may go down. You
Yeah.
need to keep that balance even in your life.
So you're
So
basically
that
talking
balance,
about, yeah, technology, that we
yeah,
need
that
to go along with technology instead of just shunning it down and using it in
yeah.
a better way to prepare in case to all the aspirants that are preparing.
Yeah, and just like your marks, no, they require a proper balance to create uh, so that you can cross the cutoff. Like I remember my marks in
Yeah.
mains was 710,
Yeah.
and the general cutoff was 745 or 738 something.
Yeah.
So my marks were down because of one paper of essay writing,
Yeah.
because of which I could not sit for the interview.
Yeah.
So that is why UPSC requires you to create that balance in your exam and even in your life.
Yeah.
If you don't have that balance of, creating a positive mindset, even if there are obstacles, a wrong invigilator in
Yeah.
front of you,
Yeah.
a question which has come wrong in the paper, if you don't have that positive mindset, you won't be able to make it to the end.
Yeah, definitely. And there's one, Madhurima, that I've always seen that there's a deep connection between mind and the spiritual well-being. So how does understanding something as scientific, since dopamine is a scientific term that we are referring to, so how it helps you on the journey towards self-awareness and mindfulness and something like that, that you have worked on that. So how it help you basically?
How dopamine helps
Yeah.
me to.
Yeah, in a spiritual journey, so it's basically in a scientific journey, since dopamine is a scientific thing. How it helps you in the journey towards self-awareness in the form of mindfulness and even a deeper sense of purpose that you are talking about. If there, what are the things that help you in that?
So, dopamine, we need to understand that dopamine is good for our life, but like I said that to you, that its optimum level needs to be
Yeah,
maintained.
yeah,
So, we don't need to overindulge in something.
yeah,
Whenever we overindulge in something, we are not letting go of something, and letting go is a very important part of meditation.
yeah,
So that ways it helps you, like you should know your limit, like this is it, I won't go beyond it to escape my sleep. Like I've also talked about that, how sleep is important for
yeah,
dopamine. So
yes,
you should not you should not indulge in like binge watching or binge eating. You should
yeah,
know that this is my limit and I wouldn't be able to.
yeah,
And it will help you even to balance your relationships as well, because even in relationships sometimes we don't know how to let go, and we make one person our whole life. And that is also a part of losing your own identity, and making everyone one person a circle around your life. So
yeah.
that ways dopamine helps you to know your limit.
So how dopamine helps with the relationships that you're talking about? That in case, yeah, we make some, you're talking about the things that how letting go helps in dopamine, how they are correlated.
So they are correlated in that way that if you let go someone or let go of something, you are restraining yourself. And when you are restraining yourself, you are not overindulging in something.
Yeah. Yeah. So overindulgement is
Overindulging.
bad. For letting go, if you can be, it can be in a better way of finding yourself
Yeah.
own self. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
And
even in relationships, do not overindulge, do not overgive, because when you are overindulging, overgiving, you are putting the burden of your feelings on your partner
yeah.
or anybody for that matter. So that is why even that balance that dopamine is teaching us to hold in our brain is very significant.
Yeah. So any practice that you can refer for the relationship also, like we talk about business and daily life that we need to do about, like you talk about dopamine fasting that we should do. So in the relationship also, do you have any advice for any practice that we can follow?
In relationship, I think in relationship the practice of meditation works, because when you are holding a relationship with another person, there are two people involved. You are not just having a relationship with yourself,
Yeah.
but you need to know yourself first, so that you know that this is your limit and this is how it's going to be, these are your boundaries. So I think meditation works a lot, because sometimes in a fit of anger, one can burst out at the other person. It need not be just a partner, it can be your parents, it can be your sibling.
Yeah.
So in that way, doing meditations and know how to let go, forgiving people, these are some of the small practices that you can imbibe in yourself.
Yeah, so it's the calm mind that basically helps the people. Through meditation, we can practice on our thoughts and anything, and also the balance that we can give ourselves the power to getting the things done rightly. Okay.
And then perspective to not have an uh, short term view of anything, have an overall picture of your
Yeah.
relationship with, so that you don't waste your energy and and make trivial matters significant
Yeah.
by fighting on them. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And the power of dopamine mind is the title of your book. So, what does the power basically means in that context? Is it about controlling your impulses, or is it about unlocking a deeper potential within ourselves? I think you were getting your book, so you can show your book to the audience so that they can know much about the cover of your book and everything. So, this is the book, The Power of Dopamine Mind. Yeah. Mm, yeah, we can purchase it through the Amazon and the Flipkart and anything?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
through the Amazon link you can purchase it. Yeah.
Yeah. And how can the
And
audience
please
connect with
drop a
you?
review also.
Sorry?
And I have Instagram page, The Writing Tree, where I regularly review my books that I read. Also,
Yeah.
I publish some of my own poems. I collaborate with other creators, so you can reach out to me through that. And this book also is available on Amazon. And please drop a review on Goodreads and Amazon also,
Yeah.
if you happen to like, or any of your
Yeah, it's
positive
one of the
negative
great
feedback you
book.
can
I
drop.
have read it myself. Yeah, it's great. And it's still about the dopamine in a very good way that how we didn't expect dopamine to be as we normally think it's a bad thing. It's basically transformed our perspective towards dopamine that it can be good also and how can we can effectively use it. So we're
Yeah.
talking about the power that truly means in the context. So is it about the controlling our impulses or is it the deeper potential within ourselves that you're telling about? So what is the ultimate power that you were telling about? That a reader finds that after finishing this book.
Yeah, I think it will be more of the latter thing, that unlocking your true potential,
Yeah,
because just controlling your impulses cannot be the your goal of life.
yeah,
Your goal of life should be that what is inside you and how to harness it,
yeah,
maintain a harmony of everything, so that you can unleash your true potential, just like the subtitle of the book tells. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's something that currently we look at the humanity and different, especially the things. Basically, when we look about the future of humanity, especially with the things that are coming today, like we are talking about AI today, we are talking about ChatGPT, Gemini, and everything, and the technology. So, how do you see our understanding of dopamine that is evolving today? And how can we use this knowledge not just to survive, that you have already mentioned that earlier we use it for the survival basis, and not now we are using it for our own purpose, for own basically fulfilling our needs and something. So but to thrive and to become the best version of ourselves in the world, that's only going to become more complex, I think, that if the AI is taking place over. So how can it help us with that?
So, in this age of AI and Chat GPT, so knowing yourself has become very important, because there is over information in the market of
Yeah,
everything. So now you have to choose what are the things that are made for you and what are the things that are not made for you. So in that respect, like, knowing yourself, knowing your limit, knowing like how much dopamine you need,
yeah,
that has become very crucial. So in that aspect, my book will spell out such will help you
yeah,
spell out such secrets to
yeah.
unlock your.
Yeah, so there are the practices that you have mentioned. It's better sleep, exercises, mindfulness, journaling, reading, and everything that you have mentioned. That will basically help us in getting the things better. So that's absolutely great. And you have also blend the scientific insights like the philosophical perspective. So how did your background? I think you have passed through Kiromali Lal College and Nalfar. So how it shaped your approach towards this topic?
This topic, so basically, I have done BCom honors from Nalsar, so and not from Nalsar, sorry, from Kirodimal
Yeah,
College, and
yeah,
MBA Finance from Nalsar
yeah,
University. In that, both those degrees about were business and management degrees. So from that, I had the background of certain business theory, certain business ethics that we
yeah.
must uphold. And later, when I studied through civil service examinations, then I took my optional was political science and IR. So that created a blend of philosophy, and that's where that chapter came, that of Bentham and
Yeah.
utilitarian approach and all that.
Okay.
So that helped me understand more about dopamine at a philosophical level. Like, I have, while making this book, I also researched on other books as well that are related to this. So,
Okay.
this topic, so basically, mostly the writers are talking about detox, they are
Yeah.
talking about the scientific thing, but the philosophical background is actually missing. So
Yeah.
that helped me connect, or my academic journey helped me connect
With a
the
philosophical
that like
version. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
like the Maslow's theory was from my business.
Yeah, from the HR,
They
I
were
think they
business
teach in
person.
HR become honors, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so they always, I have always been an academic person. So but generally when I speak also, that kind of tone comes where I'm blending my studies in everyday life. So
Yeah.
it came naturally to me, and it got transformed into my book also. Yeah.
Okay, so basically the management thing that we are seeing in your book and the theories that came from your management background, and the philosophical versions came from your UPSC journey that you have gone through. You have analyzed the management perspective and blended it with the philosophical ones that we don't see in
And the
any of the
practical
books.
part, yeah, and the practical part I underwent myself while appearing for civil and how the course of my life has carried on. So the
Yeah.
practical aspects I developed myself.
Yeah. And in what ways have the digital age amplified the dopamine driven behaviors and made balance more challenging?
Yeah, the digital age has in fact made it more challenging. Earlier, the triggers were less, but now the triggers are amplified. In fact, see, now we see that cameras have filters, lot of filters, and so we are constantly comparing ourselves to the outside world.
Yeah,
So those comparisons are again making us feel like we have some deficiency in ourselves. So, and the digital age has amplified the kind of triggers that we had earlier. Like earlier, our triggers were very less, but now the triggers are more because the amount of social media applications, the amount of content that we can see on OTT, the
yeah,
amount of choices of food that we as consumers have, uh, they have risen magnanimously. So that is why uh, the digital age has lot of larger amount of triggers than what we have before.
yeah. And yeah,
And even like suppose the cameras today they have lot of filters, so we are comparing ourselves, we are not getting the same amount of satisfaction that we used to get earlier.
yeah,
And my book also talks about that, how when you are seeking that reward and that you get from the dopamine, you are no longer satisfied with the previous level of satisfaction that you had from that same amount of dopamine, so you want more and more of it. So
yeah,
it leads you to have anxiety, panic attacks, and these days even small children are suffering from panic attacks and from anxiety attacks. There is constant comparison that we
yeah.
have with others. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's something called, yeah, you talked about the most crucial topic, that is constant comparison and its effects on the children also in today's world. So these are the practices I think that most of the adults that we are reading the book we can follow, like mindfulness, healthness, eating, and everything. But for the children starter, and in case both parents are working, what advice would you give to them that they can also indulge in the things that basically helps them in managing the dopamine effect?
So when we were like when we were in our childhood,
Yeah.
then we had certain serials that had parental guidance. So even by using our digital phones, our smartphones, parents need to guide their children on how to use it and not give their children cell phones for an unlimited amount of time. There needs to be a check and balance, that they are also interacting with the physical world, not just interacting with the virtual world.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that guidance can come from parents.
Yeah.
So
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 basically,
this
parents need to control them and to basically not control, but in the way modify them or limit their time or usage of that you are doing with the virtual or interaction with the virtual world.
Yeah, maybe diversify them into different activities, give them more physical activities like dancing, maybe playing music or something, so that they can be away from the phone.
Yeah.
And the hostels, even the boarding schools, they don't allow phones, so that practice must also be there at home. But unfortunately that discipline is not there at home, which
Yeah.
is there in boarding schools. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And how does dopamine tie into both a habit formation as well as in a distraction form? So, what are the key challenges we face in maintaining the focus today? That you feel that these are the major challenges that we are facing?
Okay. So there are many challenges that we face because, see, we can't do a detox for many hours, because then
Yeah.
we people need to connect with us, and our phone will no longer show the notifications. So there are challenges that you will encounter first when you will try to restrict your dopamine rushes.
Yeah.
Like you will be away from your phone, you won't be able to reply to your calls,
Yeah.
or and you will have to even restrict your urge your
Yeah.
urge inside to not touch it.
Yeah.
And for that also I have talked about, and try to create a friction for things that you don't want to do. Suppose you want to eat something, so keep it in higher place in your cupboard so that your hand does not reach it.
Yeah.
Or maybe keep your phone outside the limits of your room. So that way
Yeah.
but the challenges do exist in this
Yeah.
real world, because we are too much dependent on our technology,
Yeah.
wi-fi.
Yes. So, how much of it practically possible? You talk about keeping the phones away, for example, for all the working professionals and everyone there out. So, everyone is indulging with their phones in case they are living outside, away from their families. They need to contact their families, and for in case they are doing the office work. For today, in today's world, the office work is not just 8 hours that you need to give in the office. It's constantly with us that we need to make some client calls at the end of the day or something. They are indulging in that. So how can the people, if it's the most problem that we are facing with the working professionals out there, how all of us can keep a balance between managing our phones and balancing the work at the same time and the family life at the same time. So how can we do that?
I feel that we need to prioritize that, what kind of messages or text that we do need an immediate response, and what can be deferred for later.
Yeah,
Because we need to have some kind of relaxation in our body also. If we are constantly responding to a trigger, to a stimulation from the outside world, that is bound to irritate us
yeah,
at uh, one point or the other time. So what we need is that uh, we need to prioritize things, that whether we do need to do it, respond to it right now, or
yeah,
can it be done
yeah,
later. But obviously we live in a cobweb of relationship with others. Like if I'm not responding to someone, that person might we are living in a
yeah,
cobweb of relationship, so that person might not like it.
yeah.
So it's very difficult to navigate through relationships. But certain things you need to defer, you need to let go right of
Yeah.
that, the
And
immediate.
yeah, for that thing, how can listeners creating the sustainable routines rather than the quick fix dopamine hits? So, is there any one thing that they can do or create a sustainable routine? Like they have just a dopamine hit, that quick fix dopamine hit. For example, we just left the office and we are on our phone scrolling down. So, is there any one practice that can we instantly do to put that back, dopamine hit back outside?
I think, like in meditation, they tell that whenever they make us do breathing in and breathing out exercises, they are bringing us to the present moment. So if if you focus on that very moment of of your breathe and all that, so you kind of deviate yourself from the outside triggers, from the outside distractions, so that can help you itself and that moment.
Yeah.
Suppose you are having a panic attack and in the middle of it, then you want something, so in that way meditation helps you a lot.
Yeah, so basically, you're telling that meditation basically helps us in balancing the things out, and it basically create a mind a gap, a 2 minute gap that they need to think whether this is right for us or if it's something that we should delay at this point of time so that we don't
Yeah.
have any gratification at the point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and even these days when there are a lot of online frauds that are happening, and when these fraudsters they call people, they usually they you one person gets a bit of hypnotized, and they follow their instructions, and when they reveal their OTP, then only the fraud happens.
yeah,
It's because we are not mindful of the present
yeah,
moment that it happens. So
yeah,
it is very important that you take a pause when you are doing something. You take a pause that yeah,
Yeah.
this I can defer, this I need to first check and then do.
Yeah, yeah, it's the one thing that you majorly highlighted that yeah, there are many online frauds happening and people are just mindlessly doing that or basically falling a trap to that because they are not
Yeah,
involving in that. Don't have any mindfulness or the look into what they are doing. They are just instantly doing the things out and in a take off time that they one basically sharing the OTP to a wrong guy can lead them to travel.
yeah,
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 and
because they are not present in that moment. They are
yeah, for
not
the
able to
mindfulness and
check
meditation
whether
are very
it's right
important.
or yes.
Yeah, definitely. And for why the balance emphasized through the book, how do you define the balanced mind that you talked about in the context of dopamine? So, what is balanced mind according to you?
I feel that the balanced mind is something that does not overindulge indulge in things that are not meant for them for a long term happiness. If you are indulging in just short term pleasures, then it is not a balanced mind. So balanced mind is something which looks for a long term perspective, a long term happiness, and which is able able to like sacrifice their instant gratification for long term happiness, for long term goals. So
Yeah,
that is a balance.
yeah. And how do the psychological and philosophical perspective enhance the understanding of dopamine influence our behavior?
Okay, so the psychological and the philosophical mindset, it uh, it will help you understand the underlying idea behind dopamine, because dopamine itself, if you search about it, it's a neurotransmitter.
Yeah,
But you really need to understand that what is the philosophy behind it. Like I talked about pleasure and pain, that we are trying to avoid pain and seeking more and more pleasure,
yeah,
and that is shaping even our psychologically mindset. It is shaping because that is pulling us towards habits that we never meant to inculcate. We
yeah,
never meant to inculcate such habits. And even I've seen that even our schools are very unprepared. They are
yeah,
very unprepared to teach us about the dopamine and all,
yeah,
because at our time we had certain practices, like we had a sports period,
yeah,
we had a yoga period and
yeah.
all that. But we were not taught how to deal with this smart, because at that time there were no
No
smartphones
smartphones, yeah,
obviously.
at that time.
But now they have changed, so even now schools are look very unprepared of how to make children, you know, be have a healthy relationship with their
Yeah.
smartphones, their
So there should be
peers.
a topic in the school that need to teach them that how they can use it in a better way or an effective way. And since AI and all these things are taking over the place, so there should be a proper management that you're talking about. That children should be aware or teached in the schools so that they can balance their personal life and at the same time balance the digital or the virtual world.
Yeah, there should be. Actually, there should even be more of ethical teaching towards using smartphone, because
Yeah.
these days there are people who use screenshots, who overhear conversations, who have con calls. So
Yeah.
as the children don't know how to use it, they also imbibe things from their adult world, and
Yeah.
which they should not imbibe.
Yes.
So, yeah, there needs to be a
Yeah.
more
And
discussion on this
yes,
topic. Yeah,
definitely. There should be a period of that. They should make them aware that how to use social media, how to use the phones in the things, and not just teaching about how to use the technology. It's
yeah.
there should be a
Like
thing about
you
managing that
like
also.
yeah, like in today's world, if you don't like someone or something, now you in your phone you immediately block them.
Yeah,
But in the real world, you cannot block people.
yeah,
So you really need to learn how to navigate yourself through this virtual world, because in real life you cannot avoid people. You cannot run away from. unpleasant people, from bullies,
Yeah.
but in through phone you can.
Okay.
So we need to teach them how to navigate this path, how to maintain a balance of their virtual and their real world.
Yeah. So the another question is that since the time that you have written this book, so have readers shared any of their stories that how your strategies help them, perhaps in the form of habit breaking or any motivation that they get to your book or any digital reliance? So is there any reader stories that you want to share?
There have been readers who have really liked the content of my book, and they have been really good big book accounts. So I'm very positive about their feedback. And personally, yes, people have read the book and they have liked the book as such. The the latter parts of the book is more
Yeah.
of a self-help book. The first part of the book is more of bringing you near to the topic. So they have liked the way the book has progressed. So yeah.
Yeah. And do you want to planning to write more on the topic or delve into related themes like this, more on these type of things like dopamine and creativity or something like habit formation or mental health? So what are you working on next? What are your next projects that you are working?
So mainly I love fiction. So I would love to explore myself as a fiction author. But yeah, I'm interested in this serotonin as well.
Yeah.
Serotonin is another compound or neurotransmitter for which people seek doctors' help. So I would love to explore that as well.
Yeah.
But mostly, personally speaking, I would love to be a fictional or fictional
Yeah.
author than a non-fictional author.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are planning to write something on a fictional world. And what is serotonin you talked about? Is there something that you can tell about that?
I do not know much about it. I'm still searching about it. Though it helps, it's called a happy hormone.
Yeah.
So I would love to research more on that and maybe
Okay.
come up with a book
Okay,
someday.
okay. And for are you writing currently? Are you into something, or is it the project or future projects that we can see?
Yeah, right now I'm not writing anything, but I keep writing my poetry, my book reviews. But yeah, soon I will start again to
Yeah,
write
your
something.
book reviews we can find on the writing tree, the Insta page that
Yeah,
you are sharing, or if there any other
yeah.
platform that you are sharing that too.
Right now it's only the writing tree, but yeah, I do plan to have someday a podcast on books,
Yeah,
on stories, but
yeah.
right now it's just limited to that. Yeah,
Writing tree. Okay. So
yeah.
let's wrap up everything with a quick fire round, and you can answer in one word or so. So, what is your favorite dopamine hack for energy that you particularly prefer?
I think prayers. Yeah.
Okay. So you constantly went to prayer for something, talking to God about your problems and all. Yeah, that's great. And any habit that you successfully transformed in your field.
I think uh, eating right. I'm still trying to build that habit, but because I also have some imbalance of insulin or something in whenever I go for my blood reports and all that. So I'm trying to inculcate healthy eating into my lifestyle
Yeah,
and try to do some 15-20 minutes of workout. I am not at all a workout person.
yeah.
So,
You are indulging that
but
into your behavior.
doing something, yeah, moving your body is very important
Yeah.
before it becomes stiff. So that habit I've got.
Yeah, that's great. So you talked about more about the mindfulness eating in your book too, that we also need apart from the dopamine effect on the phones and all, we should also be indulged in healthy eating habits and getting the food right. So that is great. And a mindfulness
Yeah.
tip that anyone can do in 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes, I
Yeah.
think meditation, breathing in, breathing out. Yeah,
Yeah, deep breathing that they can do. That is all.
yeah.
Yeah. And any of your favorite book that we can read?
Okay, so there are lots of books that I like these days. I have recently read Wuthering Heights. It's a classic by Emily Bronte. So
Yeah.
I really love that book. And there is another contemporary authors in that I liked this book Heaven by Kawakami. It's about bullying in school. So the book particularly deals about how to what which extent bullying can go, and how it has effects on the victims of it, and what is the accused mindset. So
Yeah.
I really love that book. So
Yeah.
I like books which deal with a particular topic and deal it to an extent. Like I don't like much of uh, spilling out the story in different directions. I like it in one focused topic, and
Yeah.
I love cultural fiction, so I can explore one day Japan, one day Paris. So I, I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. And for what's your dopamine kryptonite? Like that one instant gratification habit that you have to consciously fight in yourself.
I think it's checking my phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I don't always respond impulsively, but I really need to keep a check on this habit of trying to uh, keep checking the phone and have that dopamine rush. Oh,
Yeah.
uska message nahi aaya.
Yeah.
That habit
Yeah.
I really
I
need
think
to
we all need
avoid.
to do that. It's the problem with all of us. And any one book or resource that you
Overthinking.
would recommend to someone who is feeling completely unmotivated at one particular point?
Could you repeat again?
Yeah, any one book or the resource you would recommend to someone feeling who is completely unmotivated. So, any book that you want to recommend to that person?
Okay, there I like this book of Energize Your Mind by Gaur Gopal Das.
Yeah,
Guru Gaur Gopal Das. It's a very simple book, and it's written very emotionally. So I like that part of
yeah,
this of that book. And there are couple of books that you can read to cultivate a self help kind of uh,
mm, yeah.
thing
Phil,
in
Phil, motivational books that you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are a lot of books. Like there's this book called Manifest
yeah,
by
I've read
Roxy.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, that book is also good.
yeah, the book with the
And
orange cover that you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah,
that book.
okay. Yeah,
And I also like that Many Minds, Many Masters, this Brian Novi's book.
okay,
That so his books are more about past life therapy.
okay.
That how if you go for a past life therapy session, maybe your turmoils of this life will also be opened up, and you will have greater relaxation. So I also like to read that how, though clinically many psychologists don't recommend it, but I like that book also. It talks about karma,
Yeah,
and yeah,
the past life triggers and all, right?
yeah.
Yeah, for Madhurima, this has been an incredible conversation with you, and thank you for sharing your insights. And to everyone listening, you can get a copy of Your Power of Mind to Flipkart, Amazon, and you can also follow Madhurima on her page, The Writing Tree. I think I'll
Yes.
attach the link in the your bio and they can directly contact you or review you through the message portion of Instagram, or is there any mailbox also that they can contact through?
Yeah, they can contact me through Instagram, and I'll respond to the DMs also.
Okay.
And
Okay, yeah.
please share the review as well.
Okay, yeah. So thank you, Madhurima, for joining me here. And thank you so much for giving me your precious time. I've read your book, The Power of Dopamine Mind, and it's been an absolute relief of reading this book. And I get some insights about how to manage my mind. And I think the readers will also get to it. So thank you so much for joining, and thank you. And we will be waiting
And
for your next book soon. Maybe it's a fiction or a self-help book that we will be waiting.
happy to connect with you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Bye. and stay tuned for more such episode Fun शब्दों का सफर.